Welcome back to Kevjet the podcast, Alex Crockford, who's known for wanting to make people fit, healthy, happy. You wear many, many hats. You have created a fitness app. You are a fitness trainer, an actor, model. I think the list probably can go on and on and on. So, welcome to Kevjet the podcast, season 5.
To be back on season 5, like we just said a moment ago. It was almost 2 years ago since I was first here, and I remember that conversation being awesome. And I remember it feeling like we kind of scratched the surface and have many other topics to talk on. So I'm excited to chat with you.
Exactly. It's November, which is also Men's Mental Health Month. So I think it's important that we have lots of male guests this month.
Yeah. Well, I'm incredibly passionate and interested in this topic. It falls under all the things I think about and talk about all the time. So yeah, let's be of service and have these great conversations, especially this month.
Exactly. We finished our conversation almost 2 years ago talking about an app that you were about to launch. So just tell me what's happened since then.
Yeah, well, I wasn't about to launch it. I was about to rebrand it. So it feels like a relaunch of it, really. Yeah, I renamed and rebranded to something very, very simple and easy called the Alex Crockford app. And whilst that sounds incredibly simple, it was a long journey of a full circle to get round to that. But in theory, it was just an expansion of the old name to this name so that it can cover everything that I am becoming in regards to health, fitness, and wellness as a whole, and everything that I can offer as a service so that the foundation is there for the direction that I want to take it. And behind the scenes, there was just so much mess of legalities and copyrights and trademarkings and development and spending way too much money and all of that. So to be on this side of that boundary that was ahead of me feels really, really good. So I'm grateful and relieved to be at the place where the app is going well. There's an amazing community there using the app, and every day I'm working on the new content and new videos and new directions.
You're very active on social media, and I wonder how much time does that take, or do you schedule posts?
It does take a lot of time. Thank you for noticing that I'm very active, because I think over the past year or 2 years, I've generally become less active, and I've had to consider prioritizing what's most important in regards to content creation, what is having the most impact in regards to reaching people, and which platforms that is and what kind of content that is. Because as you know, I'm sure, and many other people know, it takes a long time to create content and put it out there. And if it's not reaching people, or if it's not aligned to my mission and my authentic truth, then it's a waste of time. So yeah, I've gone through a lot of prioritization, and a part of that has been a bit of scheduling and like a structure. I feel like I've become very overwhelmed by it all. A few years ago, I felt like I know what I'm doing on social media. I have got this down. I am growing on all platforms. It's all going well. But over the years, social media changes, the algorithms change. It's harder to reach people because it's a busier space. And with that, also with the creative freedom that these platforms provide, meaning there's no format anymore. The format is just broad. It's left me feeling really overwhelmed, honestly. And I sometimes go through real creative blocks because I get into a phase of thinking, how come those guys are doing this and getting that, and I don't know what to do, and how do I replicate that? And long story short, it just takes me back to wanting to create content that feels good for me. Even if it reaches hardly any people, it's important for me to feel like I am living on my purpose and my mission and speaking truth. And honestly, when I create a piece of content that I feel really good about, of course, I want lots of people to see it, but if just a small amount of right people see it, that feels much better for me. And recently I had a nice, meaningful conversation with someone that I only see once a year at a particular event. And he said, I've noticed your content has been transforming and changing into more of a holistic, the spiritual elements. There's all these different parts that you seem like you don't care anymore. In a good way, like you're just sharing what you want. And I was like, wow, I'm glad it's being noticed from somebody that I just didn't think would notice it. So that's a sign for me to just keep doing it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That's a conversation that I've had recently with friends who are visiting this week from Canada. And they often get, what is the theme to your podcast? And I think the secret to my success, I guess, is that I don't have a theme. However, I was just in Canada for a month and there was a Canadian TV show filming a documentary about me. And it made me realize so much about myself. I learned so much about myself in that time that they were with me. And I guess the secret is I do have a theme. And it's about real life and it's real stories that connect with people. No matter who the guest is, I always find that story that connects with people. And I kind of knew that in the back of my mind, but I always just thought that I could have any guest because I don't have to follow a format. But that's the secret is that I find a great story that people connect with and it's authentic to myself. And I'm not selling myself to a brand that if a brand came up to me that is something that I really, really believe in that would help somebody in the long run, I would accept that. But I'm saying no to lots of things and people think I'm crazy, but they don't relate to anything that I believe in. And I'm going to stick to that. And I hear that from you.
Yes, I love that. I think that's about bringing the power back to the people. And yes, declining the wrong things is saying yes to the right things and the right conversations, the right messages. And that then sparks the right fuel within somebody else to be more authentic in their lives as well. So however small or big it is, that action is really, really powerful. And I guess with your theme, it's so easy to take for granted what we do or what we know as a small voice in the back of our head. But in like the documentary, you're probably answering interviews and talking about things. And then you start to become more and more aware that actually this is it. This is a thing. And seeing the response from other people, maybe that documentary team, shows that it's a real powerful thing and not just a small part of your head just saying it.
Definitely. I mean, they were with me for a week in my little village where I'm from. And they had spent a week with me in London. So it's 2 episodes. And it shows like the big difference between where I'm from and what I'm doing now. And obviously they know me really well. The host knows me really well. So she knew where she was going with this, but I didn't realize a lot of the connections to home that I have. And so when they left, the film crew was saying, thank you so much. It's been a great week and it's been amazing and we enjoyed ourselves. But I had to say thank you because I learned so much about myself. And I just think that experience was amazing.
Yeah. Well, this is amazing. Where can we see this? When is it?
It will be out in the spring. So it will be season 3. They're still on season 2 on TV right now in Canada. But once each episode is aired, they are online. They're available online. So I'm going to have a watch party here in London and I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but it's just about being authentic. And I think, this conversation is not about me. So we'll keep talking.
Interesting nonetheless. Thank you for letting me know.
I have to say I love your Instagram and I'm more of an Instagram person. I know it's really difficult to find where our audiences are. So for me, my audience is definitely Instagram. It always has been even before the podcast, which is quite interesting. But I love how you have sort of like a fan page and you're always active on there and you're always communicating with people and you have a Zoom meetup. I think that's great. And how successful is the Zoom meetup? And do you have regulars? Do you have new people who keep joining? How does that work?
Well, it came about because as a part of the app community service was a weekly live check-in where I can host a Q&A, answer questions, give updates about the app, etc. And that has always been on Facebook Live in the group. And the group is great there. It's amazing. People are posting all the time, holding each other accountable. But at the same time, it's Facebook. So only people that like Facebook or are part of the Facebook group can be there. And I know the future of this weekly live check-in will be probably a live feature inside the app. But because I haven't developed that yet, I was thinking, how can I make this more inclusive? How can I get off of Facebook for people that aren't using it? So I thought, let's just put it on Zoom. And this also means that I can see people's faces that want to show them. They can speak if they want to speak, which wasn't possible on Facebook Live. So I wouldn't say it's wildly successful. It's a small group there, mostly returning faces that I know. But with more and more people coming into the app and the community, there's always some new faces turning up as well. So yeah, I wouldn't say that there are hundreds of people there. I do promote it and let people know that it's a free thing that they can turn up to. So if you're listening to this and you want to jump on a Zoom weekly with me and I can answer any questions that you have in your health, your fitness, your wellness, your nutrition or lifestyle as a whole, then you are welcome to join. I always share the Zoom link on Instagram in my community page there. So yeah, it's a lovely thing that I like to do every single week.
I like that. It's such a great idea, and it's a great way to connect, which is something that you always do with your audience. And I love that.
Yeah, I try. I think connection is the most important thing, especially, well, in today's world, is human connection, even online, even digitally, is important. Of course, if we can get face to face with people in a room, that's the best thing that we can do. But if there's a way to find connection online, especially for me running an online business, how can I improve that connection even more so that they feel a part of the community and feel like somebody else has their back and is supporting them is so important. Of course, in health and fitness and your journey, but generally and overall, like you said, it's November and Men's Mental Health Month. I think having a platform or a place where people can maybe share and speak freely about their emotions or journey or things that they're struggling with is absolutely vital, because sometimes people don't feel safe to talk to the closest people around them.
Yeah.
Some way or another. Some people do, of course, but some people might find it easier to speak to somebody that they've built a friendship with online or something. So just
Do
making
you find in the fitness world that that men are in the gym, basically, do you find that that's a good place for people to open up to each other, or do you find that the men in the gym tend to just be there to look like they don't have an issue?
I think generally the latter. I think most people will be there putting on a front like everything's okay.
Yeah.
And we're working our bodies and not our minds. I think, unfortunately, to have a more meaningful heart-to-heart conversation would require a bit more effort, unfortunately, a bit more of a great connection, and to meet halfway with somebody else, which can be hard. It might take multiple conversations to be like, hey, should we go downstairs and grab a coffee or have a chat? That's not what guys tend to do, really, is it?
But I know in your friendship group, you guys are completely open with each other and you have a good support system. But I would imagine that would carry on if you were in the gym and you saw somebody struggling, you would have that conversation with them.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Any opportunity or chance that I have for something like that, absolutely, of course. But I think, I think people, or men especially, struggle to be open and show their vulnerable selves, especially in a place like a gym. Because it's about being strong and lifting weights.
That's right.
But I don't think it should be the normal. I think it should be normal that there is space for people to talk openly about these things. And of course, I'm sure there are places and times where people are doing this, but it should be more normal for sure. I'm fed up of hearing about suicide. I am so saddened when I hear another story, and especially when it's close to me or somebody that knows somebody close to me. It's just, it's terrible. It's the last resort that should never happen. And it shouldn't happen anymore. Men should know or feel comfortable enough to talk to somebody about what they're going through.
Definitely. One thing I do want to mention, which is new since our last conversation, is you've become a dad.
Yeah.
How has that changed your life?
In every way possible. He's now 13 months. So, yeah, it's been an amazing year. Life has changed a lot. It is incredible. I love it so much. I love him so much. I am so grateful every day. It's not easy, really hard, really, really hard. But yeah, I have a different perspective of life every day now, from things like stories and films and things like that. Like I watched a movie last night that there was actually a screening of one of the films that I'm in, and it's called Due Dating, and I played a small role, and it's about a pregnancy story. And just watching that from a father's perspective, knowing what my wife went through, I experienced the film from a very different place had I been pre-fatherhood. So yeah, perspective has totally changed. Time available has changed. Length of sleep has changed.
A question that came through when I kind of was speaking to friends and saying that you were coming back onto the show.
Okay, bring it on.
But one of the questions was, if you had to swap lives with another fitness influencer for a week, who would it be? And would you improve or ruin their brand?
What an interesting question. Oh my God. Well, whose life would I enjoy to have? Fitness influencer. Who of my friends would I? Well, I can't think of one person that I'd like to switch lives for a day. Does that show that I'm very grateful for my life, or that I just don't want to pinpoint one person?
I think it's great. And I actually thought you were going to say this. I thought you were going to say there is nobody I'd want to swap with.
Yeah. And to the second part of the question, I would definitely not ruin their lives. Of course, in the fitness industry, you can say there's competitors and whatever, but that's a lack mindset, really. I think there's more than enough people to go around to share in our brands, and we're all ultimately on the same mission of trying to help people. So not one person's audience is exclusively theirs. We're sharing everything. We're all on the same mission. And if I want to be them for a day so I can ruin their brand, that isn't going to benefit anybody. Unless
when you're scrolling through social media, like let's say TikTok for me is one where I know I might notice this a bit more. Do you see the people who are just there for themselves and not really to help anybody else? And how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I generally can tell there's a lot of ego. There's a lot of ego in the health and fitness industry. And I can normally tell who's doing it for views, doing it for themselves, doing it for fame and success, which partly isn't wrong to have those desires. But if it's rooted in purely that, and you're happy with bad ethics or pushing people down so that your business improves or you get more views, is obviously really, really wrong. And yeah, I can see that. How does it make me feel? Yeah, if I'm just in my head and just kind of responsive and scrolling, I can get a bit frustrated because my ego would probably get triggered by their ego. And I'd think, well, how are they so successful? How are they getting all these views? How is their business so big? When
I feel like that. Yeah. When something's not authentic, but yet they're getting lots of attention through it. And you just keep thinking, I'm putting out some really great stuff that is authentic and helping people. Yeah.
On the surface, I can feel like this, but if I take the time to kind of go deeper and not be in my triggered state, well, first of all, I could listen to the trigger. What is it actually like? What's the message I'm receiving here underneath the frustration or jealousy or something like that? Like, what is it actually telling me? And there might be a message there for me to grab hold of. And that might be, get off of social media and go have some fun somewhere. That might be one message if I've been doom scrolling too long. Another message might be, yes, well, maybe you could actually create content like this that inspires you to put something out there that actually aligns with you. Maybe they're triggering me because I know that I can do what I do better. So it might trigger a positive action. But underneath that negative response is is a knowing, a positive feeling, a knowing of it's okay, that I'm not bothered by this. I know that they're going about their journey the way that they're supposed to. And if it is wrong, if it is negative, if it is all ego, then they'll find out at some stage. When you play the game long enough, like I have for the past 10 or 15 years, you see people that grow fast often more than likely fall fast when they're found out. So I just play the long game with being true and authentic, as do you. And that growth is sustainable and solid and meaningful.
And over those years, you've trained, probably hundreds of people? Thousands, yeah. So the question here is, what's the funniest or strangest message you've ever gotten from a client?
Well, it depends if it's from a client or from just a general follower.
I would think the general follower would be the better question.
Yes, exactly. And of course, sometimes if we're talking about one-to-one clients, I don't do that anymore, but I did train hundreds, maybe thousands of one-to-one clients when I was a personal trainer. But now I guess you could call my clients app users, the app community. So sometimes there's a blurred line between a app user and a general follower. So sometimes maybe I can get a weird message from somebody who is also a client in that respect. But yeah, if it's just a general follower that hasn't connected with me on that level, then yeah, all the weirdest stuff you can imagine. Dunno. Selling my underwear, pictures of my feet.
That's the new thing. I hear so many people saying, I can't remember the name of the site, but I have heard it many, many times. And they're like, you can just make loads of money from there. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness. And I'm scared to look at it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, going back to my question of authenticity and what's actually important for me, is it purely money and business and success, or is it that plus alignment with what feels right for me? Because many people, and if it's fine for them, it's fine for them, would be on that site selling themselves in a particular way. And I could do this with my feet, or much more than my feet. And yes, be living in my massive mansion and supporting my family in an amazing way. But it wouldn't feel right for me. Maybe it would feel right for somebody else in their life journey. But for me, I have a big mission to achieve and live, and something would feel wrong about me going about it in that direction.
Yeah. I mean, so many people these days are going to sites like OnlyFans. And how do you feel about that? Because do you feel that in the long run, like say, I don't know, 5 years from now, if they've gone into that, can you hold on to that? Is it sustainable? What happens as you age and things change?
I guess it depends how clever you are from a business perspective, how you use your money. I have some friends that have been pretty successful on OnlyFans and have used the money to buy the house and to invest and save money and maybe purchase assets. And then maybe they'll go off of OnlyFans and then carry on with whatever business and entrepreneurial aspects they have. But the problem or potential issue there is for all of those people, and for however public you were with OnlyFans, is always being remembered and known for that. So how seriously would you be taken for other future projects you take on? If that's not important for that particular person, then good on them.
Yeah.
But I have big goals. So I think in the future and work backwards. And doing that means it's not a right decision for me. And many people listening to this might use OnlyFans, and there's some positive use cases for that, but there's also just an enormous porn industry, and I don't think it's a healthy outlet for expression and consumption.
Yeah. What's the mental side of fitness that people never talk about, but absolutely should?
The mental side of fitness. Wow, my head has gone in a variety of directions, but I think the key one is, well, a couple. So I'll start with the fact that fitness is mostly external. It's physical. It's looking at the body and how your body looks and how much you can lift and how fit you are. And a part of that means always striving for the next, always wanting to look better, be better, and going after your goals. And sometimes that gets mixed also with competing with others. Well, they look like that and they have great abs and that's what they look like on the beach in Ibiza. And this can whilst be a positive thing to have motivation and work towards continuously, which is good. If it's 100% that, then it's a negative habit, it's a negative mindset, because it's taking you away from the present moment, which should be gratitude and happiness now. And if you save all of your happiness for when I get to that point in my fitness journey, then you're taking the gift away from the present moment. So I've learned that through the hard way over many years, and it's not something you acquire and then have got. It's something that you continuously work on, and that is the balance between being motivated to work towards something, and it's not wrong to have that run booked in or that photo shoot booked in or anything that motivates you, the holiday, the wedding, etc. But finding enjoyment and satisfaction in the present moment and working with your body and with your mind, rather than looking in the mirror and saying, I hate it, or paraphrasing in some way that is like, I want to change you, but instead loving your body, being grateful for your body, celebrating that you get to move it and work out and to enjoy it whilst wanting to develop and evolve is the key point. The second thing I wanted to say is that fitness should be seen as a holistic fitness. It should be seen as a mind, body, spirit fitness. We don't just go to the gym or work out to build the muscles, but it's also the story and the topic of mental health and how fitness can improve our mental health. And what else do we do outside of working out that improves our mental health and emotional health? And spirit is another part as well, is understanding that we are on a life journey and we are in a human body, but we are a spiritual being having a human experience. And maybe we've lived many, many lifetimes. Maybe we've come here to have some kind of mission or soul purpose in this life, and having the self-inquiry to understand what that might be, to heal our traumas in this life, to understand our own triggers, our shadows, so that we can evolve not just in the biceps, but also in our consciousness. So I think it should be one whole integrated thing.
How many times do you delete a photo before you post them, before you find the right one?
If you could see my camera roll, yeah, there's often a lot of photos to select the right one. And that's just adding to the whole story of Instagram being a perfect showreel. And that's just the way it is. But I'm not afraid of saying that that's what it is, and that the photos that show up are always the best of the bunch.
Yeah. And they're the best of the bunch to you. So like someone else could look at them and say, God, I really love that. Why didn't you ever post that? And you would think, gosh, but it's because of this and this and this. And because that's what I do all the time. And my friends would be like, I love this photo. Why aren't you like posting this? And I'm like, no, look at that. I don't like this. And it's all about how it's going back to ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah. It's funny how we see ourselves differently to maybe how somebody else sees ourselves.
Yeah. And I kind of love that when somebody looks at a photo that I don't like and they're like, gosh, I really love that photo. You should be posting that. And then it makes you just think differently. And it's much more of a compliment than if you see what you think is the perfect photo. And often people will be like, that's not the greatest photo. Like, so I love those kind of conversations with people that we're close to.
Does that give you confidence to then post that kind of photo and share it?
Sometimes. And other times I'm like, no, I don't agree.
What if multiple people that are not connected say, that's a great photo of you?
Yeah, but then sometimes you can just be wary about people who are just giving you compliments as well. So I don't know. It's just because I'm in the process of building my website right now. So I'm like, I have to obviously have lots of photos. And it's like finding the ones that I like that kind of represent myself, but also look good. Because it's something that people are going to look at when they're like, oh, who's Kevjet? I need to go and see what this guy's about. So you have to, and you would know because you build the app, you have your website. So it's like it's social media. You just have to, it has to represent you.
Yeah, definitely. But have you ever also looked back over time and seen a photo differently to how you saw it in the present moment?
Always. And like you said about the gallery on your phone, I often go through it when I'm looking for photos, and sometimes I stop and I'm like, wow, this was a photo I really like, or this why the hell did I ever post that? Like, so yeah, you do change.
Yeah, definitely. That happens with me all the time, especially going through the camera roll. And on the fitness element, sometimes I don't think I had body dysmorphia necessarily, but I remember when I was in like early 20s, mid 20s, and thinking I'm trying to get bigger, I'm trying to get leaner, and felt self-conscious in some ways, in some places, and in some photos, and always dieting really hard and everything like that. And now that I'm in my mid 30s, I am a few kilograms lighter. I see myself in photos now, and I look back through my camera and I'm like, whoa, you were in amazing shape. If only you saw what I can see of myself now, 5, 10 years later. So it's a nice message for me to think about now, because what will I think in 10 years?
Exactly. If fitness was not a career, it didn't exist, what would you be doing?
Chocolate taster, gardener, a film critic, a Lord of the Rings watcher. These are all just funny ideas because these are the side hobbies and passions that people probably don't know is that I'm a chocoholic, for one. I like being out in nature. And now I've just moved into my new house like 2 weeks ago, and the garden is bigger than the last one. And it's been left for months or maybe years. So I'm just like so keen to get out there and clean it up. And I'm so busy in my life, or maybe that's a narrative that I keep telling myself how busy I am, but I don't find the time to do things like just getting out there and getting out of work and do gardening and stuff. But when I do, I absolutely love switching off and getting my fingers dirty and doing stuff like that. And the last one was film critic. Yeah, because I love film. I love watching movies. And again, I just, since Tobias was born, I just haven't been to the cinema. I haven't watched movies. So I would love to do that. But a serious answer, what would I be doing? I think my life purpose is in some form or another is of being of service and helping people live an inspired life and find their connection to themselves. So I don't know what that is specifically, but it's under the umbrella of everything that I'm doing now, whether it's in fitness, whether it's in individual self-development or coaching in some form or another, it will be aligned to that. And that is sparking the flame in somebody else to get up and go and live their life.
Amazing. Cold showers or ice baths?
Oh, ice baths. But it's not convenient for everyone if you don't have an ice bath. And cold showers, most people can do. And you still get great benefits from it. So I prefer taking a cold plunge. And it's kind of easier because it's just immersive. Like you just got to go do it. Whereas cold shower is like torturous, the way that it just keeps refreshing cold water.
It's true.
Whereas cold plunge, you can cheat. You get in there, and if you don't move, you develop like a tiny thin layer of water that you're heating up over your body. So the idea is to keep moving a little bit if you want to really go for it.
I learned to swim in the Atlantic Ocean in Canada, and there's a time frame where your body just goes numb and you don't feel anything. So then you enjoy swimming.
Wow. Maybe only Canadians can do this. It's in your genes.
It hurts. Like it physically hurts for it. I don't know, probably 2 minutes, like where you're like, it's like brain freeze, but your whole body. And once you get past that, you're fine.
Wow. And you do get past it, and then you can still move your body and just crack on.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you do breath work before getting in? Like what's
No, you just go for it.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's just the way it's always been.
So does that mean that now in London you're able to do cold plunges and cold showers quite easy? Because
I haven't done a plunge, but I probably could easily. I can have a cold shower easily as well.
There we go.
Yeah. Pineapple on pizza.
Hell yeah. I like it. I don't choose it. Like it's not in my top choice, but I'd eat it. I'm not like anti it.
I don't think I could. Let's talk about modeling and acting, because you just finished your shoot for your 2026 calendar.
Yes. Shall I send you one?
Yes. I still have your last year's on the wall here in the studio.
Amazing.
And everybody comments about it when they come in. Yeah. How did it go?
Really well, actually. Yeah, really good. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to do it. I did 2024, 2025, and yeah, all year until now. And as people know, it's November now. I was didn't think I was going to do it. I was expecting maybe the project to grow or expand, and I didn't know if 2025 was that successful. So like, let's just park this for now. But the peer pressure grew. The message by message, one by one, from the community and Instagram DMs of like, when's the calendar coming? When's the calendar? You better be doing. And I felt the pressure build. I was like, oh, maybe I should do it. So
That's a question I actually have. Do people have requests for the type of photo that the calendar is going to have? Is it going to be different to what we've seen before?
Yes, there is a general request which has been popular. 2020, yeah, I like a theme each time, but 2025 I wanted to make a fitspiration theme to merge my fitness elements with the calendar and the modeling kind of thing. But the most common feedback was that it's not naughty enough, not enough skin. So I guess that's kind of why I was like, nah, let's just not bother. But with lots of requests, lots of comments and messages, I thought, what can I do to make people happy, but find the right balance of what actually is meaningful and fun for me to do, where I can make it different to my Instagram and give a nice premium photo shoot and theme for people. So I've come up with a concept that feels good for me for 2026 and probably for beyond as well.
And was it fun? Like, did you enjoy the whole shoot?
Yeah, I love shooting, and I shoot with my friend Leo Holden of Snooty Fox Images, and he's really experienced in creating these calendar images, and we've shot plenty of times over the years on different things and collaborations before. So it's an enjoyable, fun shoot, very collaborative, very creative and fun, because we're not deciding this shot for this month. We're just going through a selection of different looks, styles, lightings and different things. And then we get into the look of the whole shoot and finding the favorite images and which images will suit which months. So that's a kind of a fun creation. And then thinking, people are going to be receiving this and seeing this the whole year and these pictures for a whole month. How can we put a smile on their face for that month?
Amazing. It must be difficult to choose 12 photos, because I would imagine you take probably hundreds in a photo shoot, and then you have to choose 12.
Yeah, really hard. It's the hardest decision. It takes me too long to do. I'm getting better at it, but it takes me too long to do. And similar to the last chat about our camera rolls and social media, is sometimes I've gone back and looked, it's like, actually, I really like that one, but it must not have spoken to me at the time. So I'm kind of aware of that and maybe not deciding too quickly. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your elevator pitch? What's the concept of the 2026 calendar in one spicy sentence?
One spicy sentence. I think I said it a moment ago.
I think you did as well.
Do you want to walk out into your bedroom or your kitchen every day and be given a smile on your face and to know that you are going to have a great day after looking on this calendar, 365 days of the year? Then buy this calendar and I'll give you that smile.
I think that's a great pitch.
Well, let's sell some calendars.
Exactly. Where can people find the calendar?
I'll have it on my website. It probably is going to be a limited run because, like I said, last year I wasn't sure about how many I'm selling. So now I'm probably just going to keep it a small exclusive thing and sell it out. I don't know how many that is yet, but I'm going to make like personal signing available and then just non-signed available as well. And yeah, you can find it on my website.
What's new and exciting? Because again, our last conversation, you were about to take a role that you couldn't even talk about.
Yeah. So coming up to 2 years ago, that means I was about to shoot, I think, a film called Hang. And I was a lead character in this feature-length film called Hang. And that would have shot a few months after our conversation. So I have that project and a couple of others, which they all take a long time. Feature films take a long time for post-production. One, and secondly, when like the projects I've been on are like independent films, so what they most commonly do is once it's finished that they have a festival run or reach out where they submit themselves to different festivals. Whilst that's happening is you can't do premieres, you can't release it publicly and stuff. So I'm kind of in that phase now where there's a few films which are in that period of time where I can't go and watch it. I can't share it with people. So it's very exciting times. And I've heard from the producers of a couple of these films that next year, 2026, is going to be a fun time for releasing these films.
Amazing.
Whether that's like theatrical cinema releases or online digital streaming platforms and stuff. But it's going to be really fun. But instead of just waiting for that, this year has been interesting as well. I've done a few short films, a vertical drama. Do you know what that is? Now there's these very short, snappy episode formats are going onto a vertical screen, so to fit your phone, because
wow,
obviously film and TV is filmed in landscape and we enjoy watching movies in that way, but there's a big driving industry, mainly on TikTok, I think.
Yeah, that would be the vertical. Yeah.
Yeah. And other like unique platforms. So yeah, I filmed a couple of those, which I'm really looking forward to them being released really, really soon as well. So yeah, I'm staying busy. I'm not saying yes to every opportunity. I'm having some interesting auditions and I'm enjoying the journey as it unfolds whilst I'm juggling all the other elements as well.
So let's move into Kevjet's quickfire questions.
Bring it on. Sounds good.
Alrighty. Black and white or bold color?
Bold color.
Beach sunrise or city night lights?
Beach sunrise.
Shirtless with a story or layered with attitude?
Shirtless with a story.
One prop you can't resist. Resistance band, leather jacket, or coffee cup?
Coffee cup right now.
Best month to be on the cover, January or September?
January.
First thing you notice about someone when they walk into a room?
Energy.
You're cooking for a date dinner with your wife. What's your go-to dish?
A Mexican style selection of fajitas and nachos and salad and nice spicy bits like that.
What's your love language and what's your gym language?
Love language, tactile, touch, massage, touching, affection. Gym language is, can you spot me, bro?
I love that. Growing up, did you have a celebrity crush?
Yes, Megan Fox too. Yeah, I don't know how many times I rewound a scene in the Transformers movies of Megan Fox, probably many times. I'll leave it as that.
Some listeners wouldn't even know what rewind.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. What's your definition of sexy in 3 words?
Real, honest, confident.
If love was a workout, what would be the toughest exercise?
Is this a trick question? If love was an exercise, what would...
If love was a workout, what would be the toughest exercise?
Yeah, honest communication.
What's one thing that can completely turn your day around?
I can't decide between music or moving the body and nature. So if you can do nature, music, and moving the body, then you're going to have an epic day.
Who is your hero?
Kevjet.
That's the best answer I've ever had.
Kevjet is my first answer. Thank you for being a hero. Thank you for being you. Thank you for doing this podcast, for your energy, or love, or the shine that you exude out of yourself and your being. So thank you, Kevjet. My next answer is my son, Tobias, for coming into this world, for choosing to be my son, and for giving me a new sense of life.
Best advice you ever have been given?
Just be yourself.
What is your deepest fear?
Not making it, not achieving my dreams, not fulfilling my purpose.
And my very last question, you kind of just stole the show, but I am going to ask you anyway, is describe your experience of being a guest on Kevjet.
Damn it, I ruined it for you.
It's fine. We've got the same energy.
Yeah. Well, it is an experience. I love it. Obviously, I could come to the studio and I really absolutely would love to come to the studio, and that will be a whole next level. But here online, the studio background you have, the little plants coming in, your hairstyle today is on another level. So good. I love it. Really, I'm going to have to ask you about your inspiration of hairstyles that you go through, but these are all external things. But the other thing, like the the question you asked about what you notice when people walk in the room, and I answered their energy. And I feel your energy. I feel safe. I feel connected. I feel like we're friends, and you are able to give me the ability to have a real conversation, which, like you said, with the documentary people and the theme you're finding is I very much feel like that, like I can have a real conversation here. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you for this conversation, Alex.
Thank you for having me.